Hello everyone. Today we are going to deal with the chapter 4.1 History of a Novel. My dear students, if you remember, last year we had dealt with a chapter on the history of drama, where we had seen different periods and what were the different dramas that were existing or prevalent during those times. So similarly, we will see today in this chapter how the novel, the idea of novel originated, from where did it originate, and what are the characteristics of a novel, who are the different novelists. So all these are the points which you are going to deal with this chapter. Okay, so we will be focusing on the 18th century novel. Now 18th century is marked as very important, a remarkable period, because it is a period which has given birth to two different forms of writing in English literature. That is, one is the periodical essay and second is the novel. So that's how the 18th century stands out, because it focuses on because it is known as the age of intellectual, sentimental and realistic. So these are the aspects which touches us, touches the human life. Okay, this is something which it was written with the purpose to instruct the readers, to teach something, okay, purposeful and virtuous life. How can people lead a good life? All these were the characteristics of a, when a novelist wrote a novel, these factors were kept in mind while he attempted a novel. Okay, so now what is a novel? Novel is actually a long narrative fiction. It could be a fiction, but it could be real also. It could be based on real life as well. But something which is novel. So novel would be like it would run to 100 to 200, 300 pages whatsoever. Okay, so and it is basically written in a prose form. It's not written in poetic form, not in the form of a drama. It's written in prose form. And let's understand the word novel is derived from the Italian word novel, novella. Okay, novella say novel, and novel meaning something which is new. So it was new, quite new, when it was introduced in the 18th century. Now when you are developing a storyline, one has to keep in mind the time, the place, the nature, the people they are dealing with, the mindset. Why is the background study, even I keep saying, why is the background study so important? Because you want to understand what was how was the 18th century. Now we know we are living in the 21st century, so we know what is the mindset of the people who are living now. But then the people who lived during those times, the writings, the writers in those days focused about they were very much concerned about the setting or the time on which they are writing, the circumstances which the people are dealing with. All these factors would be taken into consideration while writing a novel. Okay, so novel, obviously you will find there is a difference between drama and poetry. The way the language is used, the style is used. Okay, so you find there is a vast difference between a drama, poetry or a novel. Okay, so novel has a long history. It can be taken back to 2000 years back. It can go back. So before the novel, the early precursors, before the novel would start, there were tales, there were stories written, there were Greek romances which started somewhere around 2nd to 6th century. This was important during that time, Greek romances. So Greek romances ka basic theme was love. Okay, and among that some of the important ones those times were Virgil's Eclogues, Malory's Morte d'Arthur and Geoffrey Chaucer. Somewhere around 13th or 14th century mein Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales became very important. Okay, so according to them, it's like the first, which is the first novel written, it goes back to 1000 AD. Okay, 10 में लिखा है मुरासाकी's Shikibu's Tale of Genji. That's the first novel, but people don't know much about it. The novel which became very popular was actually a European novel. That's it is called as Don Quixote. It maybe when you read it, you will read it as Don Quixote, but it is pronounced as Don Quixote, who is a Spanish writer, and the Spanish writer name is Miguel de Cervantes, and it is written somewhere around the 17th century, 1605 and 1615. So it's almost the 17th century. Now, the writers will always write according to the interest of the readers. So interest was generated in the field of people started taking more interest in reading newspaper and magazine. So naturally, automatically, romances, tragedies का interest जो था, that started declining. And 18th century, the importance of 18th century is it is characterized by the spirit of realism. Real thing. There is no cooked up stories. It is dealing with life of the people around. Whatever is in and around, whatever the writer observed, he felt, experienced, was written in the novel. Okay, so romantic features jo the, it was absolutely absent. Enthusiasm, passion, imagination, all these lacked in 18th century writing. Okay, and 18th century was again more important because industrial revolution. It is the period that the world saw industrial revolution. So trade, commerce also gained importance, and a class of people, that is a middle class, had emerged. The upper class and the middle class. So middle class was given more importance during that time. So people started getting educated. So the new class of educated people started emerging, and novel as a form gave voice to people. Apni awaaz, today we have a lot of platforms, social media, where we can express our views. Okay, so those times it was a novel. So especially dealing with the problems and the everyday life of the middle class people, and also with the coming of machines, education, everything that changed the life of the middle class people. So automatically drama and poetry lost its importance, and the novel started gaining higher and higher importance. Okay, so it was properly seen that a novel touches on all aspects of life, that is the social, political, cultural, economic, everyday happenings, everything would be incorporated in a novel. We shall stop this here. In the next lecture, we will see who were the popular writers during the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th century. Okay, I hope you've understood till here. Thank you.